Today's episode of Northern Lights is presented by North Star Law Group, your trusted partner in Minnesota's burgeoning legal cannabis industry. Whether you're just starting out or looking to expand, attorney Jen Randolph Reise and her team will help you understand the latest developments, scope out risks, and find a compliant path forward in this rapidly changing field. Visit northstarlaw.com and let North Star Law Group guide you through the legal landscape with confidence.
It's 420, Charlie Brown, and it's another episode of Northern Lights. 420 special. Howdy, everyone. We're back. Another episode of Northern Lights. Super happy to have you all here. And as I mentioned, it is our 420 special. We are joined by a whole crew today. Super excited. Joined by Jen Randolph, joined by Steve Eigenman, and joined by Sam Milstein. Welcome, everyone.
What up?
Super excited to have you all here.
Happy 420.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you so much for having us, man.
Happy 420.
I know. It's crazy. Guys, this is our first legal 420 here in Minnesota.
Wow. It's huge.
Pretty exciting. Because last time this year, that bill was definitely working its way towards the end, but it hadn't yet gone into effect, hadn't yet passed. We can now very proudly show off a bunch of hash, a bunch of flower, and say, it's legal, friends. Welcome to the state of legalization. We've got a fun game today. Well, a fun series of games today that I have written on a sheet of paper, but that these three actually haven't seen yet. So today is going to be a fun special of us playing some games, and let's be honest, getting pretty stoned.
I'm in.
Let's do it.
Oh, yeah.
Won't be the first time.
Yeah. Oh, definitely not. So let's do a little bit of introductions. Jen, you've been on the show before. Sam, you've not, but just sort of as a little bit of a background, tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do in the cannabis industry. Jen, you want to go first?
Sure. Yeah. Jen Randolph Reise, head of business and cannabis law at North Star Law Group. And I help cannabis entrepreneurs set up their businesses for success, and we'll be helping people through licensing.
Awesome. Perfect. And then Sam, tell us a little bit about what you do in the industry.
Yeah, Sam Milstein, and I own a distribution company called Milstagrams Distribution. We distribute THC products from local makers to local shelves. So really just connecting our manufacturers with our retailers and looking then to be connecting in the future our farmers with our retailers.
Awesome.
Which of course is happening a little bit right now, but really excited to get that key turned.
Yeah, absolutely. And you were essential not only in the beverage that Steve worked on, 4Canna, getting that out to people, but also Northern Lights, the can that we've had sitting on our counter this whole time.
That is my favorite.
Yeah, it was so cool talking to so many people. And I was like, oh, so you got it through Modest. And they were like, oh, no, I didn't. But I did get it through my buddy Sam.
Let's go.
So thanks for being that my courtesan of the industry, connecting everyone, helping those products to get around.
It's such a pleasure. You know, I've always enjoyed selling weed because the recipient is always pumped about buying it.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Or at least when it's a good product. And so that's one thing that we focus on definitely is just maintaining a certain level of quality to keep our retail partners and their consumers pumped.
I love it. Awesome. Well, so before we jump into our first game today, let's do a dab. So Sam, you brought a variety of different stuff with you. Yeah. Now, let's pretend that the people watching this show maybe have never done a dab before. Maybe concentrates is a newer thing to them. Talk through a little bit about just some of the stuff that you have in front of you and essentially what it is. For people who know the flower, how do you get to that?
You know what? I might get made fun of for this a little bit, but in 2018, Rosin came into my peripheral, and there's a big difference between resins and rosins, right? We were smoking resins off of 1,000-degree titanium nails.
Oh, yeah. Glowies.
From Glowies. I love that.
Glowies for Kobe.
From, 2009 to 2014, 15, 16, at which point I said, this sucks, and stopped doing that. And then it wasn't until 17 or 18 that the gospel of rosin had made its way back to the Midwest and my ears. Rosin being a traditional bubble hash, which is extracted through sieves using ice water. We did that over.
Yeah. That was a pretty fun time.
The other night, dude, I had a great time. So you're going to extract that and get your raw bubble hash material is what we used to call it in the late 90s and mid 2000s. You'll take that and you're going to put it on press and apply pressure and a low amount of heat, and you're going to squeeze out effectively your rosin. There's different ways of, going about that exactly, but you'll take that product, and if you smoke it right away, they call that fresh press. And if you cure that, they call that cold cured typically. And so I have an array of 7 or 8 different jars and flavors of cold cured rosins in front of us from both here in Minnesota and other parts of the country.
Very cool.
What does the U mean?
The U is the size of the microns that, or effectively the holes in the sieve that the plant material is able to pass through, or rather intended to stay behind as a barrier. So, this saying 70U to 159U, and Tanner, correct me if I'm wrong, but my 159U, I'm going to be having plant material sieved through, and then I'll be using the 70U as a catch. So anything that's smaller than 70 is going to continue passing through, which people say, why would you want small material to pass through? Well, the 70 to 159, we really find that's where nice, juicy resin glands are, and anything below that might be, dirt, specks, stuff like that.
Bug shit is what we always called it back in the day, where you get small enough and it's just, this was a living thing at one time. This is sort of left behind.
There's a legendary farm. What are those guys called in Oregon? I can't remember their name. I'll remember in a second here. They do the Dabbler, if anybody can remember the name of these guys, but they're always talking about how anything with 40U under is going to have bug legs in it. Exactly. So.
Oh yeah.
Right. Appealing.
Yeah. Good stuff. Yeah, so you got a couple that are sort of within that nice range. Some in that like 70 to 149, some in that like 90 to 149. But you also have a variety of different producers, people that are on that cultivation or processing side. Talk us a little bit through about some of the people's hash that you got in front of you.
Yeah, so just to go back to what we were talking about, those guys are called Dirty Arm Farm if you want to check them out in Oregon. Legends again. So, I do have a jar from my buddy just south of them, Terps and Caicos. Have some Humboldt honey from him. Shout out to the Back 40 Farms guys, California, Minnesota. We won their Easter egg hunt last weekend, and won this jar from Dr. Ladybug, some grape gack. If you want to smell that, you'll get a little bit of like almost like a Flintstones vitamin grape in there, and also kind of just like that funky like gack from back in the 90s. These, so when you called me to tell me that this is something that we wanted to do, and I've been talking about this forever. I'm so pumped. I had to go source specific hash, and that's when I called Casey Hedican at Trichome Collectors. And Hedy hit me with the Chem and Onions, which is a dual blend of Chem and kind of like a Chem cut, and then Tony Nielsen's Black Onion. Those guys share cuts together. That is disgusting. It is.
Oh, yeah. So going back in time to our pressing class that we had in December of last year, he had just come with the first little bit of that was pressed out. And I remember smelling it and being like, oh, that is oniony. Like,
it's offensive.
You get that for sure.
Whoa. It honestly, it tastes like death. Somebody, the women from Chicago that you introduced me to this weekend.
Yeah, Maddie Scanlon.
Yeah, and her friend Shayna told me that it smelled like a garage, which I thought was like, it's just like dirty concrete gasoline in the summertime. And then this I was really excited about from Casey and from Logie Bloom. Am I pronouncing that correctly?
Logie Blum. Yeah, Logie Blum.
Sorry about that, guys. Shout out. Would love to hang soon.
Fire Flower.
Okay. This is the Blue Dream, which is a strain that we'll get into in a little bit, but something that we smoked a lot of 2008, 9, 10, heavy sativa. And what's really interesting about this is this is when we were smoking at a time where this is good weed. This is weed that gets us high. This is weed that tastes good. It doesn't taste like, chemicals or harsh nutrients. But it wasn't at a time where we were able to extract for flavors like we are today. And so we weren't I personally, at least, wasn't necessarily able to like deliberately break down the flavor profile of a strain that I smoked all the time. And so now that Casey has brought this kind of back to life in rosin form, where you're really able to pay attention to a 500 degree, what is the flavor?
The nuances of the flower, and
exactly.
the taste of the material.
That's what, and it's surprising. It's not necessarily what I would have expected, but it's super fun to kind of revisit like that.
A guy that taught me a lot about weed said, you can tell a lot about where someone is in that cannabis journey by what they think about Blue Dream. It's like the new stoners think Blue Dream is the absolute best. And then the sort of little bit more experienced stoners sort of get like jaded a little bit and go, no, I don't like Blue Dream. I like the more like the less known stuff.
Sure.
And then by the time you sort of reach that end of that, you're like, yeah, nah, Blue Dream is a classic because it's a classic. Yeah.
Totally. Shout out Nady, loves Blue Dream, my little brother.
He called me the other day. He's got big things coming.
Oh, for sure. Check out his facility, Can of Soda, doing a little rebuild right now. We're going to be cranking some gummies.
Cool.
Word. Shout out to Nate.
Awesome.
This some Super Boof. It's pretty good stuff, but it just has that nice tangy profile to it. It's a trop cut. This is from a local distributor whose name starts with the letter O.
Love it.
Thank you, O. I love you, O. And this Amarillo, in the same vein, is from a local distributor, just a local figurehead, we'll call it, whose name starts with the letter E. So Thank you, E. We love you, E.
Sam, can I buy a vowel?
No.
E is a vowel.
None of this is for sale.
Yeah. I love it. Well, so I have a couple jars really that are put to shame by some of the ones that you have, but I do want to shout out a couple buddies that I have. So Shiner's Rum Farm, I got some papaya here. Papaya is a new one that I've really been getting into. I just love the sweetness of it. And from what I've heard, it's a dumper. It's one of those cultivars that you really don't have to worry about. And then the last one, I'm just sort of proud to show this off. This is actually some of my home grow turned into home wash, turned into home press. So this is some Velvet Underground, has some of that tangy in there. I think it literally tastes like an orange cleaning solution as you blow it out. It's just like super duper orangey. So we'll have to
read on that one, huh?
Yeah, we'll have to give it all a little taste today.
Dude, I'm so excited to taste those flavors. Papaya is one of my favorites.
Yeah,
When rosin came around, we started to see what squishes well, what dumps well, and also what translates a nice terpene profile over to. And dude, papaya is all there all the time. I'm so pumped.
I love it. Well, so before we do a dab of any of this, you also have a pretty cool glass piece in front of you, made locally here in Minnesota. A couple different pieces there. Tell us a little bit about what you got.
So this is a picnic bottle done by Matt Atienza, who goes by Matt A. Phenomenal glass blower, just a phenomenal homie. I don't know anybody who doesn't speak of the utmost high of my bud. And then the banger here, just got to shout out Eric Ross, local legend.
Hold on, take us through. So for those who don't understand, so these are two different parts. Okay, so Eric Ross designed the banger.
You got it. So the banger is a quartz bucket that we're going to heat up with our torch and let cool to somewhere between probably 550 and 500 degrees before we start to inhale.
Sweet.
And then that attaches down in here. And you will see as we go throughout how I remove and clean this after each dab. They should have come up with a better name for that, dude.
I know.
Dab?
You just do a dab of a dab.
It's just like
Maybe that's what we should talk about later.
what name it should have been called.
It could be today.
Yeah,
It could
we'll
be
see.
us.
I love that.
6 dabs in, what are you going to call it?
Dude, okay, so
right.
we call... So some things just should have different names, dude.
Right.
Like spaghetti, we call Zerini.
Whoa. All right. What is this?
Bro, that's
So-
just...
Hey.
Right?
Are we going to go do a dab or what?
All right, let's
All
go
right,
do
all right,
it.
yeah.
We can
All
talk
right.
about
So we'll be
Zerini
back
later.
in just a minute. Drop your comments below. Is it spaghetti? Please say it's spaghetti. All right. We'll be right back.
Hey, Tanner.
Hey, Steve, can I ask you a quick question?
Yeah.
So I was thinking about planning for our next event, and I just, I've had a lot of miscommunication. I want to make sure we're on the same page. We're planning a bubble bath event.
Not a bubble bath event, a bubble hash event.
Steve, that makes so much more sense. My brain went to bubble bath.
It's relatively new.
Okay.
Like, I think last 20 years, people have been doing more bubble hash. It's a really
Wait. Save it for the class.
Okay.
So I can get my ticket today at mncannabiscollege.org/hash.
Yeah, we could do that.
Okay, all right, yeah, that's what it says in the flyer.
Hash,
All right,
hash.
/hash.
And it's not bath. I mean, there is a shower at the Wilderness, but we're not going to use it.
Oh, all right.
The legalization of the plant has provided so much insight into the plant itself.
Oh, hell
that
yeah.
we didn't have. I feel like the first 80% of my time in this space was like in the dark, and now we know, oh my God, this is what's getting me high. This is what's making me feel that way, and this is what's tasting like that, and this is why it does, and I'm just learning too.
Yeah, it was just such a crapshoot back in the day.
Well, that's such a great conversation to go in on, because I remember being at our concentrates class in December and learning so much for the first time from these people in the state that have been doing this, hearing that like outdoor grow just has larger trichome heads than indoor grow, and how like the actual wash process has to change a lot based upon the flower that you're using. It's pretty cool.
For sure.
Well, so let's talk through a little bit about what we just had the opportunity to dab, and then we'll play our first game. So the first one that we did was the papaya. What were your thoughts on that?
My hands immediately went to the top of my head. The flavor on this is mind-blowing, and I'm afraid that we saved the first for first.
Oh,
The best for first.
I think it only goes up.
Okay, yeah.
No matter what,
'cause,
it only goes up.
That's right.
I got juice. I got a deep sweet funk. It's candy. It's fruity.
Oh,
and then I did on the back end get a little bit of that gas, which is just the most well-rounded hit. I know it's going to get me high exactly like I want it to.
Yeah. Dude, so then next we did the Super Boof out of the Puffco, and the flavor on that was incredible. You described it as tangy. Knockout. You get that super orangey burst as soon as you inhale that.
Don't
That was
knock
good.
it for its name.
No,
You know what I mean?
no, it is super. It's not boof. It's super, definitely.
Right. Whoever named this, good on you. That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Sure, but dude, that tastes like oranges.
Well, and then rounding it out, we did the Blue Dream. Shout out to two incredible local producers, Loggy Blom. I mean, shout out. We had him on the podcast. Super great, Kat and Stefan. Shout out to Casey on the washing side. Like, truly a collaboration of Minnesotans coming together and making just some fire rosin.
You love that. That's why we wanted to see it legalized here. I
Yeah.
feel like I keep saying something. You keep trying to say something. Will you say that? Because now I feel bad.
Bubble hash bonanza, May 5th at the Wilderness.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We're coming back. If you want to learn about how to make some of this stuff, we'll teach you all in front of you. It's pretty cool.
Thank you for dropping that.
Yeah. Yeah, we did our flower class last time, and we tried to sort of figure out what's that second incarnation. Our buddy John was like, you got to teach people how to make bubble. You can't just be pressing flower.
Okay, dude, it's just so much easier than figuring out how do I grow for 4 months and like what water and like what humidity and like all these nutrients, where I can take this. Dude, I don't even need to cure it. If I don't want, I can just fresh freeze it and then wash it down.
Yeah.
It's so much easier than anything else.
Sam was pulling for this idea in December.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
Okay, and I don't want to say that it's easy. Shout out Johnny or anybody or Casey or anybody who does this, because in theory the process is easy. But first of all, you do need fire in. They say, fire in, fire out. And
there's a huge range on that.
a huge range, and you need. I mean, everything needs to be dialed. You know, I don't have a cold room at my house, etc. So, I can make decent hash, but it's just there's so much less guesswork rather than like curing, etc. I'm looking for my water, dude. That's what.
Oh, definitely.
Right foot.
Yeah. So as you're looking for that, I can sort of tell you about the first game that we're going to be playing today.
Sure.
So this is actually one that our listeners asked us to bring back. It's one that we did on a past episode. You might recall our buddy Marcus just lost his shit when we asked him to try to figure out what's the real and what's the fake strain name. So we have a list of a bunch of different cultivars. Now we're going to be using Leafly as sort of our guide for what's a real and what's I mean, there's so much cannabis genetics out there today. Really, if you looked up some of these strains, I'm sure you might find someone who's doing something like that. So we had to rely on that. They've got thousands of cultivars. So if I said one today that's fake and you're saying, hey, Tanner, I think that's real. So don't at me. There's just a lot of cannabis. So I'm going to be giving you two different cultivars and a brief description of them, a little bit about their genetic background and who the breeder is. And I want you to tell me which one of them is real and which one of them is fake. So the first cultivar that we got is Magic Gumdrop. Now, Magic Gumdrop is a hybrid cannabis strain bred by Seed Junkie Genetics. It's made of the genetic cross of Bubblegum Sherb and Magic Marker. Magic Marker has become pretty popular recently. It's Leafly's 2023 strain of the year. And then the second cultivar we're looking at is Psychedelic Creme Brulee. So this is a dessert-inspired sativa-dominant strain from High Horizon Farms, crossing the famous creme brulee with LSD for a sweet, creamy aroma and a visually stimulating high. And let's be clear, LSD, that's the cultivar, not the other drug. Yeah, there's a famous weed strain called LSD. It's supposedly more psychoactive. So which one of those is real? Is Magic Gumdrop real, or is Psychedelic Creme Brulee real? What do you guys think?
I guess I'm going to go with Magic Gumdrop, but wow, even odds.
Yeah, what do you guys think?
Magic Gumdrop, not real.
Okay.
Oh.
All right, breaking the tie. What do you think?
You know, I do think it's Psychedelic Creme Brulee because, and here's why. I think that the Leafly strain of the year was Permanent Marker and not Magic Marker.
Oh, you are right about that. Yeah, absolutely.
That's why.
Yeah.
You know what? But can I just say that you guys did this? You strain namers, like you did this ridiculous shit.
Oh yeah. So
it's so goofy.
So you're totally right about Permanent Marker being the cultivar of the year. That was my mistake. Unfortunately, Magic Gumdrop is real. That is the real one. Psychedelic Creme Brulee I wasn't able to find. Creme Brulee is real. LSD is real. Psychedelic Creme Brulee not yet, but coming out. Mm-hmm. All right, we got a couple more here. The next one that we're looking at is Holy Crack. Now, Holy Crack is a sativa dominant hybrid, and it's a cross between the legendary Green Crack and the sativa-leaning Big Sur Holy. The other one that we're looking at is called Jesus Fuel. Now, Jesus Fuel is Divine Green's creation. It's an indica-dominant blend of Giesel and God's Gift, providing an uplifting high with a pine, lemon, and incense aroma for his sacred tranquility. Is High Crack real, or is Jesus Fuel real?
I don't think Jesus Fuel is real based on the copy at the end. The sacred tranquility doesn't ring true for me.
I'm going to copy Jen on this one.
You know what? We're going to have a unanimous panel here.
All
and
right.
It's not because of Jen's reason, but if Jen has a different reason than mine, then I'm for sure going with... Dude, Green Crack was awesome.
You do a more actual
Shout out
weed-related
2010.
reason. That would be good.
Right.
A lot of Green Crack in the Classic Lakes area.
Oh,
God.
yeah.
Dude, that was good weed.
Yeah, you guys got that spot on. Holy Crack is a real cross you can actually get. Jesus Fuel. Not that I was able to find.
If you find Fire Green Crack or Fire Green Queen, call your boy. Mm-hmm. Got that number.
Yeah.
Milstagrams.
All right, so I did forget I was supposed to be keeping score in this segment. So
That'll happen.
you
I've
guys,
been right twice.
there we go. You guys are winning. All right,
Yeah, I'm on one.
next one that we got here. The next cultivar is a Dark Berry Boogie. So Dark Berry Boogie is an indica-dominant weed strain released by the Green Bee in 2020, and it was made of the genetic cross of Purple Kush and Raspberry Boogie. Electra Fruit Swing is the other cross that you're looking at. That is a sativa-dominant jolt from Electric Eden. That combines electric lemonade with fruit punch for a tropical and fizzy flavor. So is Dark Berry Boogie the real strain, or is Electra Fruit Swing the real strain?
This one's close. I'm going to say Electra Fruit Swing.
Okay.
Electro.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? They're both. Either of them could be, but electro fruit swing sounds so ridiculous that I feel like you could not have made that up.
So unfortunately, I did. Dark Berry Boogie is the real one. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Although I would smoke some electro fruits. I don't know.
Tanner,
That
you
sounds
were on
fun.
that psychedelic creme brulee.
Yeah,
when you
yeah.
came
I think
up
what
with
we're learning,
that.
Tanner, is you need to get paid by some of these companies that
Ooh,
make up strain names.
Yeah. If anyone looking for a new person, I'm.
You got some
There you go.
creativity you're giving away for free here.
Thank you. Oh well, so we've just got more. So now, which one is the real strain name? Is it Crouching Tiger Hidden Alien? Now, Crouching Tiger Hidden Alien is an indica staple from Exotic Genetics. It's a combination of tiger's milk and starfighter, and it's a powerhouse strain. The other one is Control Alt Delete, sometimes also called Shift F6. Now, this is an indica. This is an indica dominant cannabis strain bred by Dungeons of Dank Genetics, and it's a genetic cross of Platinum Blue Breath and Platinum Kush Breath. Which one is it?
Second one you made up,
are you
and it
done?
was fucking
Yeah,
genius.
that's it. Yeah.
So
Yeah, dude. I mean, that sounds like these guys are nerds.
Yeah. So,
Second one's not real.
yeah. So unfortunately, both of these are real. Yeah, both are real crosses. You can either grow Crouching Tiger Hidden Alien or Control Alt Delete, sometimes called Shift F6.
Hey, I didn't guess one, so does that mean I won that one?
You win. Yeah. There you go.
Sam gets the point.
No, I just kind of forgot to guess.
So I'm at 2.
Okay. All right.
Jen's at 3.
three, I
3.
think.
Perfect.
Sam's at 2.
All right.
All right. So moving right along, we only got a couple more. The next one, I'm going to laugh so hard during these next two. The next one is Chem Bob Hash Pants. Now, Bubble Hash Wizard's hybrid of Chem Dog and Hash Plant comes together to form Chem Bob Hash Pants. It's known for its pungent, diesely aroma with earthy hash notes and a potent relaxing effect. The other one that we're looking at is Canna Montana. Now,
Canna Montana. Canna Montana.
Isn't
Canna
that in
Montana.
the bill? You can't do that. They have it in the
Yeah,
law.
yeah,
You can't.
no,
this isn't appealing towards children. This Canna Montana, it was bred in Montana. It's a sativa dominant weed strain bred by King J Genetics and made from the genetic cross of G13 and Chemjog crossed with Die Hard. So which one is fake? Chem Bob Hash Pants or Canna Montana?
For the record, if you watched both of these shows while they were airing live on television, you're old enough to smoke.
You are old enough to smoke weed. Absolutely. We went and checked.
Yes, that's good.
Hannah Montana was on early 2000s. SpongeBob even before that.
99, I think.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, legendary.
Oh, yeah.
Canna Montana.
I want Chem Bob Hash Pants to be real so badly.
All right, Jen, which do you think?
I think they're both made up.
All right. I so wish. So Canna Montana is actually a real cultivar. You can grow Canna Montana.
So you came up with
Chem Bob Hash Pants. If anyone wants that, please, I want to grow it. You can take that.
Tanner gets 10%.
Oh, I'd love it. All right, we only got a couple more here. Couple more. The next one we're looking at is Skunk Bin. Now, Urban Myth Cultivators presents this skunky indica. It's a mix of super skunk and trash can and has a really heavy sedative high and an overwhelming skunky and trashy aroma with a sweetness hint. The other one that we're looking at is Styrofoam Cup. Now, a Styrofoam Cup, also called MSG, is an indica dominant weed strain bred by Canorado, and it's cultivated by the Team Elite Genetics, made from the genetic cross of GMO and Sunset Sherbet. So is Skunk Bin the real strain, or is Styrofoam Cup the real strain?
I think Styrofoam Cup.
Styrofoam cup.
You know what? I'm going to say Skunk Bin because I think that GMO and Sunset Sherb is something else.
So that's a great insight. It is something else, and that something else is MSG, also known as Styrofoam Cup, because it is a real cross. Yeah, unfortunately. Skunk Bin is totally made up. All right, and then the last one that we're going with here.
Steve.
You guys are crushing me.
All right,
All right, this is for quadruple points.
for quadruple points, which one is the real cross? Is Roadkill Skunk also known as RKS, which is an indica-dominant cannabis strain by Canna Ventures, and it's a cross of Invacanna and Skunk One. Or is Funk Dumpster real? Funk Dumpster is a hybrid weed strain made from the genetic cross between Fatso and Grape Pie BX. So Roadkill Skunk, is that real? Or Funk Dumpster, is that real?
You did such a good job with these.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Funk Dumpster.
Okay, Roadkill, I think, is a strain. And that's why I say that you did such a good job with these because, dude, all the crosses, like, you had to have done your homework for this.
I spent a decent amount of time late at night looking through and creating these crosses in my mind. And some of them sound downright disgusting.
Roadkill Skunk. I'm going to go with that, but just sounds so terrible.
Yeah. Jen, did you say which one you think?
I'm going to go with Steve.
All right. Well, this is everyone wins because both of these are real. Roadkill Skunk and Funk Dumpster.
Dude, I would be the neighbor in the apartment that was like writing down to the association, like, I smoke weed, but my neighbor's smoking Roadkill Skunk. And that's affecting me negatively.
That's probably how it got its name.
Right.
So there were a couple made up ones that made the cutting floor. We didn't end up using them. Nixon's Kryptonite, being a cross of Northern Lights and Green Crack, was one that I really liked. And then the other one was Anniversary Drop, being a cross of Wedding Cake and Time Warp. You know, that makes sense. You could see that. All right, doesn't matter. Well, so the final points that we ended up here, I wasn't keeping track. So what points did we end up
You
with?
guys kicked ass.
3, 4, 4, 4.
I think I won by 1.
All right.
I thought I was going to like know. So I was like, I'm going to know some of these.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, you have
Not
such
even
greater
close.
weed knowledge than I do, right?
I've just seen a lot of strains, and people are so ridiculous. You know,
Yeah.
Sam pays attention.
Well,
I just haven't been around that long. I have so much to learn.
yeah, I think we all do.
I think that one thing that I'll never forget, or that everyone needs to learn eventually, is that the cannabis industry has just some of the weirdest names. Like, I thought when legalization came about that things like Alaskan Thunderfuck would be like left behind, but nope, they were dragged right along with. And you walk in a dispensary and right there you see it, and I love it. I love that it's a part of this culture and that it didn't go away with commercialization coming around.
You know, it does make me feel a little silly sometimes.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
But there isn't another way to do it. It is what it is. The stigma will always
point.
be around. So there will always be more ingenious names.
That's a great point. And when I want to market my weed to, you know, like 35 to 55-year-old like blue collar men, then I'm gonna do like strains like Allen Wrench and things like that. You know, like refinished wood. And, you know,
Like somebody who does candle scents.
right? Yeah, you got it. That I think that people do a pretty good name at a pretty good job at aptly naming their strains. You know, I think that one thing that companies like 710 really are trying to do is come up with 2 names, papaya melons, that really do a good job of capturing the essence of the flavor.
Yeah. Well, and I think what's so cool about rosin, you know, we keep talking about this, but when I was first introduced to rosin, it really was like a new way of experiencing that flavor profile.
1000%.
Like with the, you know, you got that bag appeal, you can smell in, you can sort of get that scent off of it. But I feel like through rosins, you just get that whole essence of the plant. I've had times where I open this up and I hand it to my fiance and she's like, I can smell the inside of our grow tent like 3 months ago. And I really think rosins are a cool way of going about it.
That's a great point because I've heard so many growers say, if you want to taste what I walk into every morning in my grow room, it's rosin. Which rosin, dude, think about the distance it had to come after, you know, shatter off 1,000-degree nails. Like, we were like, dude, I'm off of concentrates. I just want to smoke flower. That's that true, real deal stuff. I'm a pot smoker. Like, these concentrates were fun, great. These pens were fun or whatever, but back to pot. And then, no, rosin had a lot of work cut out for itself. And here we are.
But it's extraction technology, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and a little bit of cannabis history, because I just think this is so cool. Some of the earliest concentrates that we had were
rosins. Going back thousands of years, people would take cannabis, put them inside of wicker baskets and stack rocks on top of them. And the sun would heat the basket, and throughout the day, the oils would just seep out through the basket.
Insane.
But even more recently, going back to like the 70s and 80s, rosin was something that wasn't necessarily a sought out extract, but it was made accidentally by vacuum sealing over and over all of this flour. And eventually you're getting this hot pressure pressing against it. Out comes little bits of oil when you're doing it maybe not super cleanly. Early rosin that people were sort of experiencing, man, this is the oil of the plant. And I don't know. I think there's a good place for BHO. There's a good place for other types of extracts. Rosin will always have a little special place in my heart.
Like, look at that, dude.
People can understand oils more and more.
That's true.
Yeah.
Especially if you're comparing it to the headier stuff. Referring to it as an oil is a more approachable way to understand.
Absolutely. Well, and going back 6 years ago, you had like Fox News stories running about the danger of dabs in colleges and like local community schools, dabs. I remember being a student at North Hennepin and like reading this article on my phone and being like, yeah, that's what I'm going to do when I go home. And now sort of looking back, I think a lot of the fear around that was pretty overblown.
A little bit. You know, had I had a USB to smoke in high school, I would have been high at the back of class the entire time.
Yeah.
And people definitely were exploding their houses.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't know if those were high school kids or whatever. I think people might still be blowing them up. But just please ventilate your house properly.
Well, and
make sure your family isn't home.
Oh, yeah. And that we should be very clear that's why the solvent-based extracts are illegal in Minnesota. Rosin, I mean, you'd have to really fuck up to have that explode on you, at least as far as I've seen. Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we've got some more games to play, but should we go do another dab for it?
Yes.
All right.
Let's do it.
We're going to go do that. We'll be right back.
Northern Lights.
Dude, some nice elevator music. Bro, that's why I'm a distributor.
It's Mickey Mouse, sixth
We
grade.
rolling?
Yeah,
Nice.
we're back.
Oh, dude, I'm gonna eat some Flamin' Hearts.
And we're back, guys. Super excited to bring y'all back for our next segment. Yeah, that was some great stuff that we just smoked. What did you contribute, Sam? One more time.
So that was that quad wash.
Yeah.
That was given to me. I'm talking with Cheetos in my mouth.
It's great.
This
That was
episode.
given to me. It's brought to you in part by the letter C for Cheeto. So
You clearly have a toddler. Or
right, dude, it's
Okay.
a lot of that. Elmo. But anyways, shout out, dude, what's up? And my wife at home with her right now. So that was a quad wash
Take it.
of. They called it Hawaiian Sunset, and that is a warm pops. I hope it is pretty tasty warm, I think.
It's like 40. It's good.
Right. Shout out new No Coast beverage, Buzz Pop, that Concord grape. I mean,
Big. Yeah, I love the flavor on it. Concord grape, 10 milligram THC. Highly good for you.
there's 16 grams of sugar in that entire can for 10 milligrams, which I thought was mind blowing. They nailed that. And prebiotics. Okay, sorry, I just had to plug that.
well,
Shout out
All
to
right.
Hemp House.
Back to the
it's
hash.
littler.
Look at that.
Oh, dude, the little cans are
Buzz
the
Pop is
best.
better than Sprite.
But yeah,
Sorry,
dude.
it
Sprite.
tasted exactly like like the fruit punch,
Right.
not the Sprite or
Right,
that,
right.
but the
Thank you. Bringing us
rosin.
back
Yeah,
to the rosin.
sorry,
Yes.
doing the podcast.
Which not
Good
this
job, Tanner.
jar actually doesn't have anything to do with the rosin that's inside. As I split it with my buddy Cyrus, who found the Easter egg basket with me. But it's a quad wash of papaya, which I know we just smoked trop. Diesel dough and something else. So if you made this, let us know what
Yeah.
that fourth thing is.
Comment below.
Super tasty.
Sweet. Well, so for our next segment, we had some people submit some thoughts, some questions, if you will, some stone thoughts, you could say, and they actually want you guys to answer them. So what you're going to do is you're going to choose one of these totally unmarked envelopes. Now, just confirm for our listeners, you guys have no idea what's inside of here, right? Wonderful.
No, I'm
so
a little frightened.
Yeah, so you're going to open this up and you're going to have a minute to essentially respond to the stoner question. You know, we've all been hanging out with our homie. They've gotten a little bit too stoned and they just looked at you and they went, whoa, man, have you ever? And then one of these questions. So did anyone want to bravely volunteer to go first?
Dude. Yeah. I'll go.
All right, so you get to pick any of these envelopes, totally unmarked. They all have a different thought in them. All right. Oh, there we go. Perfect.
Whoa.
You got your envelope. So, Steve, you're going to open that up, and then you're going to have a minute to just respond to the thought in there. So read out what it says.
The stone thought: if you get out of the shower clean, why does your towel get dirty?
All right, Steve, you got a minute. I mean, you just got out of the shower. You wash your. I mean, you're drying yourself. That you're clean. Your towels should be clean. Why do you wash them?
Water. It's all about the water on your body. And you got to remove the water in order to stay clean.
Bro,
The towel gets dirty.
do we get to buzz
Incredible.
I want to buzz in all over that.
I mean, he has 20 seconds left. If anyone wants to fill the remaining air.
I want to buzz up on that.
It's you.
Yeah. This buzz in brought to you by Buzz Pop, dude.
Damn.
Buzz pop.
Official
It's a
sponsor
buzz.
of the buzzin'.
All right. Dude, is you get like skin cells and stuff, and then those skin
That's what I
cells
was gonna
sit
say.
on the towel, and then they like get old and moldy with the water.
All right, that's time.
So, like, you don't become like
All right.
sterile.
Who wants to go
from the
next?
shoulder- from
We've
the
got more
shower,
thoughts.
right?
You want to know?
Okay.
All right,
That's
all
what I was
right.
Sorry.
Which pick one. You know, I'll pass it down.
Okay.
Grab one out of the stack. All right.
Sponge hash Bob.
Cat.
Sponge hash bob pants. No, something.
Okay. Why do humans cut down birdhouses to make birdhouses? What the hell else are we gonna make it out of?
True.
That's meta.
Yeah. Well, you want me to make a birdhouse out of plastic? How terrible would that be? I mean, like the
You
worst
could make it out of
thing
glass.
ever. Yeah,
Turn it into-
Matt. Hey, can we get a glass birdhouse? Hey, you know what they say about birds who live in glass birdhouses?
They get to cast the first stone.
You get 2 birds stoned
They
at
get to
once.
drop it from above,
Incredible.
like an agent
Wow.
of chaos.
Talk about a functional glass piece. You got something living in it.
All right, hey, dude, that's a terrarium, right?
Yeah,
He does
yeah.
terrariums.
Matt, get in touch with us. All right, Jen, rounding us out.
All right.
Last stone thought that we got here. The rest we're throwing over there.
That was like old timey radio
Oh,
host
yeah.
of you. A stone thought. Why is there a D when it's a fridge, but not when it's a refrigerator? Oh, what a great question, right? So English is fascinating. I was actually a sociolinguistics major for a hot minute.
Oh, this is
The
undergrad.
right question.
Best question for you.
So
then.
I'm taking it very literally, right? I do take things literally. Not always. That's kleptomaniacs. Ha ha! Bad joke. Boop. Okay, so
I have to listen back for that one.
it was a really bad joke. But I don't know the etymology. I guess that's why I'm stalling. And that's a cool, like, I mean, oh my God. Okay, here's another one. Why is it Kansas but Arkansas?
Oh, I call it Arkansas. Is that not what we're supposed to be calling it this whole time?
It's the same kind of like words start from the same place, but then they like, dude, evolve separately, right?
Yeah.
For whatever reason, I don't know, just some asshole that like mispronounced somebody's name on a podcast one time, and then like both of them became right, something like that. I don't know.
This is kind of because you told
We've
us
got some canon in the podcast going. This is great. Sorry, go ahead.
to come prepared with our own stone thought, and I don't
wait.
really have one.
I really suffered.
No
trying to
worries,
come
no
up
worries.
With a good one.
It's kind of tough. But
We've got some in envelopes down there. You guys could borrow. No.
I was
Okay.
stressed about this, man.
Oh,
I thought
don't
about
worry.
this when I was high earlier. I was like, I'm gonna figure this out.
this.
Sometimes I like
Well-
get high with an intention, and I like gave that a full intention, and I didn't fucking figure anything out.
No fear, because guys, I have so many ways to celebrate this holiday. Truly, just like 420 is one of those holidays that I think there's no wrong way to celebrate. So
nice.
we'll leave our stone thought behind, and instead I have a different way to celebrate. Now, guys, I've not talked about this on the podcast before. I was raised Jewish. That's sort of a little bit about my background. Got a couple on the podcast.
I went to Sam's bar mitzvah.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, something that I'd like to tell people. That's how long I've known Sam.
Wow, that's pretty neat.
out.
So we have the holiday of Passover, and every time at Passover, there's sort of like the telling of the holiday. And I really think it sort of helps to reflect on like, why are we celebrating that holiday, sort of what the purpose is. And I just think for kids, it helps really get them involved. And obviously 420 is not a holiday for kids. We're not at all saying that. But I felt like this is one of those holidays that just sort of needs like a festive retelling. Like the story of 420. Do you guys actually know the story behind 420?
Please
I've
tell
heard
me
a
the story.
couple different versions.
Well, so today we're going to be doing a table read of the screenplay, The Mystery of 420, A Treasure Hunt Gone Hilarious. So each of you are going to be getting a different role. I'll just pass those out. Feel
I'm
free
so
to.
excited.
So we've
Thank
got
you so
Alex,
much
the
for
comic
highlighting.
relief,
I'm still
always ready for a joke.
That sounds like you.
We got Jordan, who's a serious one, always trying to keep Alex in check.
Do you want to play the straight man?
We've got Casey, the quirky historian with a love for bizarre stories, and then Teacher, the overly enthusiastic about teaching, often joins in the fun, which I don't know. I happen to hold on to that one. So we're going to be acting out the story of 420. By the end of this, people will not only feel in the holiday spirit, but also know a little bit more about what 420 is. So all of you guys have lines that are highlighted on there. And I was in middle school theater. This is all right. So we are in a classroom. Alex and Jordan are pretending to be pirates using rulers as swords. The teacher walks in amused. Oh, and by the way, you guys have to act out all of these as we're going through. We have no props, so
Okay.
yep.
okay.
Here we go.
I've done improv. We have lines at least.
Ahoy, matey! What's this? A pirate battle in the classroom?
We're preparing for today's history lesson, Captain. We heard it's about a treasure map.
Well, you're not far off. Today, we're diving into the history of April 20th with the help of our very own historian, Casey. Casey?
Greetings, young adventurers. Ready to embark on a historical treasure hunt?
Rolling his eyes.
As long as it doesn't involve actual running.
Our tale begins in the 1970s with a legendary treasure map that led to a hidden cannabis crop. This map wasn't found in a bottle or buried in a chest, but given to a group of friends by a mysterious figure.
A mysterious figure? Like a ghost? Or a one-legged pirate with a parrot?
Alex, focus. How did they get the map? Casey?
Rumor has it the map was handed down by a local farmer who couldn't remember where he planted his quote-unquote treasure. He thought these friends, known as the Waldos, might enjoy the hunt.
And so, flipping over to the back page, the Waldos embarked on their quest, meeting at 4:20 p.m. after their daily school activities. As Casey unfurls a comically oversized, fake-looking map, the classroom is transformed with 1970s decorations. The teacher, Alex, and Jordan don makeshift costumes.
Gather round, fellow time travelers. We're about to step into the bell-bottomed shoes of the Waldos.
Sporting a poorly tied bandana. Behold, I am Steve Caper, entrusted with a legendary map by my Coast Guard brother, or by a Coast Guard's brother's friend, who planted a treasure, but then got cold feet. Wearing sunglasses and holding a snack.
Which I can't do both at the same time now.
We'll do the sunglasses first. Yeah, nailed it there.
Mark Gravich, ready to launch into this quest. I've got snacks for days and my mom's minivan if we need it. That's actually
Tight.
With a peace sign necklace and a calculator.
Larry Schwartz here, the brainiac. I've calculated our odds of success. And let's just say we'll make history if we actually find anything.
Pretending to be Jeff Knoll with a makeshift compass.
And I'm Jeff, your trusty navigator. I can find my way out of a paper bag, but a forest? We'll see.
Well, our quest begins in a mystical, fog-shrouded lands of Point Reyes. The treasure hidden, the map vague, and our spirits confused but high.
Did someone say hi? Oh, right, the spirits. Got it.
Takes out a bag of chips or Cheetos.
Fuel for the journey.
According to my calculations, if we walk in circles for long enough, we'll either find the crop or get really good at making crop circles.
As navigator, I suggest following the stars. Too bad we're indoors. Anyone got a GPS? No? All right, stars it is.
Remember, if we get lost or start arguing about the map, let's just shout 420 Lewis. It's our secret code for, well, we'll figure it out when we get there.
And if we're caught, we were just looking for Point Reyes' famous invisible art installation.
Yeah.
That's believable. And it's 420 Lewis. Is that a little long? Let's just shorten it to 420.
I say we embark on this 420 quest, not just for glory, but for the story we'll tell when we're old and can't remember where we parked our cars.
To friendship, adventure, and the wild, wild quest ahead. May our snacks be plenty and our paths less non-existent.
They group together, laughing, and lift their hands in a mock heroic pose to the Waldos.
Excited to laugh there.
Wow. This is...
Oh, that was great. First act.
Oh, yeah. So rounding it out.
So they were like pirate detectives searching for gold? Well, green, but you get it.
Did they ever find the treasure?
Alas, the treasure remained lost, but the adventure brought them closer, and 4:20 p.m. became their secret code, a time for camaraderie, laughter, and snacks. Lots of snacks.
Pretending to look through a spyglass.
I spy with my little eye a lesson on all of this.
Oh? And what's that, Alex?
That sometimes the quest is better than the treasure, especially if it involves forgetting where you buried something.
And that some tradition starts in the weirdest ways.
So what have we learned from the curious case of the treasure map in 420?
That history can be strange, funny, and unexpected?
And that every day can be an adventure, especially if there's a mystery to solve or a snack to eat.
Remember, the best treasures are often the friendships we forge along the way.
Well said, everyone. Now let's set sail for our next historical adventure. Who knows what mysteries await? Wow. Great work, everyone. Great work.
Tanner,
That was amazing. We had no idea what you were up to.
Yeah.
That read very Johnny Quest.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a little bit about the story of 420. That actually is a real story. The brothers, the Waldos out in California, were given a map. They had a friend who his brother was a Coast Guard, planted a bunch of crop, and then sort of got cold feet, didn't want to get caught. Gave him a loosely drawn map to find it. They'd meet at 420 after school every day, go searching for the crop. Now, if you go to their website, they allegedly have documentation of all this, saying that we're not just making it up. We've got documents showing, going back to the 70s, we've been using the term 420 Lewis, and we just shortened it all to 420.
I did not know 420 Lewis.
I know. Yeah. History of the holiday. So happy 420, everyone. May your holiday be bright and festive, and I don't know if anyone wants to pick this up for a movie, get in touch.
Where's Waldo?
The 420 Lewis brothers. That doesn't have the...
Guys, we got a couple more things. But first, we're going to take a short break. Maybe we'll do another round. We'll see. We'll be back in just a minute.
So I can eat the rest of my Cheetos.
Yo, what's up, everybody? This is Steve from Canna Connect, and I'm here with the #1 wholesaler of modest beverages. How you doing, Sam?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good, man. Thank you so much for having me. I'm
we're
stoked to be here.
Yeah, we're about to get into a 420 special. It's going to be a lot of fun. We got Jen Randolph Reise coming. We got Tanner Barris on the 1s and 2s. But I'm talking about the 3s and 4s right now. I just wanted to mention 4 is available for sale as of right now. And if you need it, better call Sam.
We got you. 612-481-8166. Pick up that phone and dial today.
Milstagrams, baby. They got you on that 4 Let's go.
Let's go. Oh, God. That's so sweet of you. Are the cameras rolling? We should talk about that when I get off of the podcast. You can put this on the Be Real.
I'll meet you at the J or whatever you want.
Perfect. That is the JCC that she's talking about. Right? All
I
right.
live near there.
Hi, Mrs. Milstein. I went to Sam's bar mitzvah in 6th grade.
If you remember my buddy Steven Eigenman, his mom works with your buddy Dean Phillips.
What is your name?
My last name is Eigenman, and I went to Wayzata East.
Well, I'm sure that you're a very fine young man.
He is. He's a sweet boy, and he helps me and my brother
My
out.
brother and my dad have seen Sam over the years, and we reconnected with your family at the car show in 2020, right
How do you-
before the
How
pandemic.
do you remember dates off the back like that?
Yeah.
Hey,
That's
send
crazy.
me a picture of this guy because I'm sure once I see him, I will remember.
You know what I'll do? I'll send you the podcast.
We'll take a picture before it's over.
Yeah. All right, love you, man.
All right,
I'll
well,
talk to you in a
love
little
you.
bit.
So
Thanks.
I need to know what time to wake up.
Right.
John.
All right, I got to get back to this podcast.
Love you.
All right, love you too. You guys got to give me that. You got to give me that recording if you have it. I need that.
Oh, yeah, I pressed
You
record
gotta-
as soon as you were like, I'm going to take a call from my mom.
You got to tell me what we're doing in the morning. She watches my daughter once a week. It was twice a week for 2 years. She watched my daughter, dude.
Dude,
I
that
would
was
not listen.
great.
Hey, you want to know who I wouldn't be able to do my job without? Steve Eigenman and my community. For sure, won't be able to do it with my fucking mom.
Oh,
I'll tell
yeah.
you that.
Yeah,
I mean,
shout out to your mom. And
Shout
all
out
the
to
moms.
moms. I mean, like, so
Other
my mom,
supportive
hugely supportive in Cannabis
Oh, you're
College.
on a roll.
I
Shoot,
went to
I didn't
Canna
dial
Connect.
this in.
No, I
You
mean,
know what?
but you're good. You
Should
can
we?
keep
All
going.
right,
Yeah.
all right,
I was at Canna Connect. Steve, I saw your mom. Like, just truly great.
It was awesome to meet your mom.
Yes, thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
I said, I'm Jen Randolph, and she said, I know I had to stuff all of the gift bags.
Oh, so morning of, I came up
I was
with.
so embarrassed.
Bro, it's like throwing stickers on carts. People
so
don't
good.
understand
She
the
kn-
labor
she-
that goes into this.
She's great. I mean, I get my sense of humor from my mom.
Morning of, I come up with the Cannabis College brochure that she just looks right at me. She goes, more flyers for the bags? And I go, I'll do it. I promise. I promise. She's like, okay, yeah, you do it. I loved it. I mean, she's shout out one of the best people. She was
Yes.
behind the scenes making that
Making it
happen.
happen.
Yeah, the gift bags were crazy this year. I should shout this out. We had way over 100 gift bags. We had probably 200 plus gift bags. And we had a lot of Stores and Bickle gift bags. Oh. The Stores and Bickle box was amazing. Thank you. Shout out to the Stores and Bickle team. We so appreciate it in the Minneapolis market. I saw so many people walking around with bags. Inside those bags, we had Pifton, we had Buzz Pop, we had the Chronic Tonic, we had Drink Wink, we had Space Man Ice Bites, we had
Yeah.
Lupulin,
Incredible.
gummies.
Can I just say to Stores and Bickle, throw a volcano in mine, please?
Sam, I've got a volcano for you.
Oh God, I want one so bad. It is the premier vaporizer.
Yeah.
For sure. And it is. What other piece of technology in this market has held its ground for that long? Not one.
I think it compares to the dab when you can vaporize the flower. It's as close to a dab flavor as you can get with the flower.
Crazy. Yeah, I'm gonna heat this up real quick. Should we
Yeah.
just-
So I'll tell you, let's talk about what we're loading in there so then we can step out and then quick come back. I'm going to be putting in this one that orange velvet underground that I grew and washed. I really think it just takes straight like cleaner, and I'm excited.
for
Yeah.
that.
And then what are you going to be loading in your guy there?
I think we should either go with Casey's Chem and Onions if you want to
yeah.
go gross.
Oh yeah.
Like Shayna put it, garage, or dude, this just keeps getting cold. Or this grape gack. You want to go Casey's Chem?
Yeah. Let's do it.
All right.
Shout out Casey. I mean,
So gross.
every time I see him,
It's just, dude, look
Such a great
at
guy.
that though. Oh my God. I mean, it looks gorgeous. in
oh,
there.
I hear the beeping.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna have to heat it back up.
All right.
May 5th, Bubble Hash Bonanza at the Wilderness. trichome collectors.
That's so dope.
Should anyone else want to join while we step out? We'll just keep the camera rolling.
It's okay.
All right, well,
I got some beautiful little lotion. I got some ice.
Yeah, Tanner, that was awesome. Although, dude, honestly, we ripped that dab
Yeah, that was
hot,
great.
and you still got the flavor that Casey was putting out there.
Super.
I find repulsive.
All right, y'all. For our next part, I need you to flip through these and find a cultivar that you would like to do something with. I'm not going to tell you what it is necessarily yet. We've got a bunch of like really well-known cultivars. Some that are a little bit newer in cuts, some that are classics. Northern Lights, got to throw that one in there. But feel free to grab any of the envelopes.
These are about as classic as it gets. I just
Yeah,
saw
I'm gonna
Jen
go
go
Pineapple Express.
through all of them, and I
finally
know
did
which
that so
one
you
I'm
guys
grabbing.
can see them. Did that work?
It took me kosher kush, and I feel bad for not grabbing that one.
Oh, I almost sort of want you to.
No, I know. I'm gonna grab the Tangy though. I saw it when I
yeah.
see Tangy these days. It's just, and shout out to the dab that you just gave me that you grew and washed yourself because it was
Thanks.
one of the best hits I've ever taken out of a Puffco.
Man, I appreciate it.
Bro, the citrus on that it gave me hope that I could also grow something that tasted that good.
Damn.
I've got seeds for you. And what's crazy is thinking that like from that wash, a little bit ago, that this is sort of all that's left of it. So, but thank you guys for sharing that with me. All right, so here's what we're doing next. There's a podcast that I got to shout out that I really like. It's called Beach Too Sandy, Water Too Wet. You might have heard about it before. The premise is that they just read Yelp reviews.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's it. So what you guys have in front of you is a Leafly review that was left about this cultivar. Now I wanted to go into this finding 0 out of 5-star reviews because I think those personally
Are the best.
are just like the funniest.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you guys might know this about cannabis consumers. They don't really often rate weed as
Dude, this
anything.
weed was tight.
Yeah, so the lowest that I could regularly find was a 3. Everything was 3, 4, 5. So I went the other direction. I found a review that I just think really embodies Leafly reviewers. I don't know. So here's the deal. You're going to open your review one by one. You have to do 2 things. One, you have to read it as you see it. So you're not going to be correcting grammar errors, spelling errors, or otherwise. If it's spelled incorrectly, you're reading it as it is. And then you should be shouting bolded words and capitalized words, just like someone would be behind a computer. And then second, try your best to really embody the character.
Okay.
So Sam, do you want to go first?
Dude, this is so
So we got
fun.
Tangy. First, say what star it is, and then what affects people rate it.
Tangy is
This is a long review.
5-star review by M. It's
Yeah, they hide the names. That's
right.
yeah.
Creative, energetic, giggly, happy. They did this February 11th of 2016, and he says,
Throwback.
well, shit.
Yeah.
Where the hell do I begin? This strain is absolutely fucking magnificent. End period of period story period. The second you open your little bottle, the room that you're in is instantly filled with beautiful aromas of tangerine. Never have I smoked a strain with such a prominent aroma, both in smell and flavor. And I gotta agree with the guy there. Yep. The effects took about 5 to 10 minutes to kick in. And you know what? That's what I like about weed is that when it smells like it tastes. The effects took about 5 to 10 minutes to kick in. And when they did, I was instantly full of energy. My mind started racing. I just picture this guy hitting it and then running around his like living room and on the couches and shit. Like 5, 10. Oh, dude, this tangent. My mind started racing with numerous creative thoughts. God, I wonder what this. And I felt like I should be running a marathon. This is a ridiculous head high that will give you tons of energy and get those creative juices flowing. Exclamation point. This strain only tested at 17%, but the trichome count was very rich. Imagine being the guy that has to
Count the density.
I highly recommend this strain to anyone. Go buy it. Do it. Do it. Do it.
Wow.
Incredible. Incredible.
I agree.
Such
Yeah,
enthusiasm.
All right, Steve, you want to go next?
First time I heard about Tangy was at Cornell Urban Agriculture.
Yes,
for sure.
He does an awesome
cool.
tangy. God, that guy's so cool.
All right, so you got headband.
I got headband, and I wanted to take GG4 as well. I saw that one was in there.
Oh yeah. What are the stars and what are the effects? And then you can read the review.
Headband, 5-star review from August 31st, 2013. Encourages dry eyes and energetic feeling. I love this strain a fucking shit ton. It's a creeper type. Takes a good minute to roll full on you. I automatically stopped feeling stressed out and full of energy. I never got that burned out feeling. 100 A+++.
Wow!
And I got the munchies. It was a good ass night.
Dude pulled a hackers, dude. Have a kick-ass hackers.
Thank you and bless America. Legalize this shit, exclamation point. What's wrong with you, exclamation point. 16 people found this helpful.
Incredible.
That's my favorite is when it's like a review like this. It's like ridiculous and it's like 17 people found it.
Oh yeah.
We live in a strange time.
Oh my God.
Headband was the strain that I looked at in a book and was like, I think that one's for me.
We always said back in the day, I remember Headband being really big, like 4 or 5. I mean, this was one of like the first strains that we would smoke, and it was like a headband around your head.
Oh,
is
yeah.
what you would say that it would feel like.
All right, so Jen has Pineapple Express here. Tell us a little more.
This is one of your not as good reviews, Tanner, because it's only 4 out of 5.
Yeah.
But this March 15th, 2015 reviewer, who identifies it as making them feel giggly, happier, and hungry, indeed says that it makes me feel like a slab of butter on a big old pot of flapjacks.
That's pancakes and butter.
All right, dude.
Incredible.
Giggly
and,
happy.
and just for you, 1,484 people found this helpful.
Oh yeah, that was one of the most helpful reviews on Pineapple Express, which means if you look up that cultivar, go to Leafly, type in Pineapple Express, look at reviews. That's one of the first ones. I was like gonna scroll deep and I saw that. I'm like, yeah, no, we're good. We're
good.
moving on. All right, does anyone want to do like maybe one? Sam, will you do Kosher Kush? I gotta be honest, I pulled that one really hoping that you would read it. So give it your
You can
best.
play to me all day, kid. You got the same card as I do.
I love it.
I got 5 stars for Kosher Kush. I can't feel my face or arms or my feet or anything for that matter. That should be a warning sign. It says, though I'm a weightless entity with a somewhat, and he hyphenates this, all somewhat foggy consciousness floating on the patio. Praise Yahweh. I'm high off my tuchus.
And that was the line I was waiting for. Thank you.
You're teaching Nora.
Well done,
yeah.
everyone.
All right.
It's like challah, you know?
Oh, well, moving right along to our next segment here. I actually got a broadcast from OCM just a couple minutes before we came in here. And the legislature has decided on the best way to decide who gets a cannabis license. Guys, they finally figured it out via a draft.
And March Madness.
April Madness. Yeah,
Give me a draft.
So I did April Madness, and someone's like, "Oh, it's like football," and I'm like, "What? Basketball?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah."
You're talking about bracket.
Bracket.
Right, a bracket.
Bracket.
A bracket.
Bracket.
What did you call it?
The Northern Lights podcast is doing a bracket.
I don't know what I called it. We're calling it a bracket.
Okay,
so
it's a
so we're
bracket.
doing the
All right.
April Madness bracket. So we've got 8 different licenses that want to go into your guys' neighborhood. And you guys have to decide which of these licenses are we going to be approving. Now, we're going to be doing it through a standard bracket draft, whatever. I think I called it a draft before. We're going to be doing a bracket. So we're going to be sorting out these different dispensaries that all have different sort of themes.
Am I supposed to be sharing this or not sharing it?
Oh,
or?
it doesn't really matter. But we are going to be digging into the. Well, I guess I'll hold on to it for right now, and then we'll go into them one by one. So I'm going to be showing you like a draft proposal from a dispensary, and you have to decide if it's one that we should allow to go into business. So the first one is called Lions, Tigers, and Blunts. Oh my. It's a Wizard of Oz themed dispensary. So step into Lions, Tigers, and Blunts, where every visit feels like a trip over the rainbow and straight into the heart of the cannabis-infused Oz. This Emerald Haven twinkles with the promise of adventures, offering a yellow brick road to strains that will have you clicking your heels with joy. In fact, their top-selling strain is actually Emerald City Haze. It's pretty cool.
Can we like comment on these ideas?
Well,
we think they're good ideas.
Well, so we're gonna have to decide whether we want to move this one or the next dispensary along.
I know, but
it's
I'm
gonna
like
be the
interested in
next
the
one for me.
commentary.
We've got to decipher a little bit.
Like-
Yeah. So
I want to know, like, I don't know. Does that resonate with you, Steve?
It could be the bad weed dispensary.
I could
and
see
would go with the
Lions,
next
Tigers,
one.
and Blunts going in on Hennepin, like right down the street from the Apple store. Like,
I'm gonna have such a hard time explaining to my 2.5-year-old why I can't take her to the Wizard of Oz store.
yeah.
That's not good. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, some of these regulations, like as a parent, I'm like, oh yeah, that does make sense.
Yeah, and you're gonna notice that a lot of these themes probably wouldn't fit into that guideline. So the next one that we're going with is called Enchanted Essence. It's a fairy tale themed dispensary. It's a dispensary where fairy tales and flowers blend in a potion of potent pleasures. Discover the Giant's Garden, where towering sativas reach new heights of creativities.
That doesn't mean anything, right? Like, as from like a dispensary design perspective, right? No, nothing. I got nothing from that.
Well, do you want to know what their featured cultivar is? What they sell most of?
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
called
Rapunzel's Kiss.
it's glass
Unicorn
slipper
poop.
haze.
Oh,
Slip into
okay.
a state of
All right.
sublime happiness with a strain that fits just as perfectly at the stroke of
It's
midnight.
not Cinderella 99.
So,
Oh, boom.
all right. So, which of these are we getting rid of? We gotta move one of them on to the next
I
round.
hate them both, Tan Man.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Both losers.
we'll put this one on Hennepin.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
that-
All right.
we're
All right.
gonna
So
have to go
we're
with-
getting rid of this one.
Oh, dude, it's
All
gonna be
right.
so tough. She
Going
was
away.
obsessed with the Wizard of Oz. Was the first thing she was ever obsessed with.
Wow.
Oh,
How old is your daughter?
2.5, almost 3.
Almost
Closer to
3
3.
years old.
All right.
They know about the Wizard of Oz.
Well,
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, she would. That would be like so. Okay.
especially in Minnesota. I mean, all right. All right. Next one, Heroes Harvest. It's a superhero themed dispensary. Step into Heroes Harvest, where the quest for justice meets the quest for the highest quality cannabis. Their featured cultivar is Caps Chronic. It's a strain as steadfast and reliable as the captain himself, either the grower or the superhero.
Right, that's gotta be cap cut.
Yeah. So that's one.
so we've totally got some IP issues. I'm just going to point out. Here.
I don't know what you're
There's
talking about.
also
Let's
a
talk about
typo
it.
right here.
ChatGPT said that there was no IP issue with any of that at all.
Oh, that's so nice. ChatGPT is gonna,
It is the lawyer
Stand
for
behind you,
these
there.
businesses.
Uh-huh.
All right, next one that we've got. Next one, moving along. Jungle Jane's Joint. It's a jungle safari themed dispensary. But you want to know their featured strain?
Yes.
GG4, because it's jungle themed. and
Gorilla.
Glue.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
We-
I'm
yeah.
I got you.
Yeah.
I forgot.
So I won't read the description of that book, but so we got to move one of those along. Which one do we want
I'm
to
going
keep
jungle,
in the
right?
contest?
Jungle.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Jungle wins.
Let's
You
try.
want to go to a superhero dispensary? You want to sleep in a race car bed?
I don't.
The Minnesota Cannabis College crib show just got really uncomfortable. All right, next one that we got. We definitely have some IP issues here. The Poke Puff Plaza. It's a Pokemon themed dispensary.
What are the licensing costs on that?
I don't know, but their cultivar is Pikachu Haze. It's shockingly electric, surges creativity.
Boogie woogie 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 woogie.
Yeah, so they're gonna open and they're gonna get into a massive lawsuit and get shut down.
What if I was telling you
So-
that this was Nintendo trying to open this?
Right, dude.
Oh, I mean, and that could be right. And,
We don't know. We don't know.
They're following the market trends.
okay, all right. Lay the next one on us.
All right. Next one, Covert Cannabis. It's a spy themed dispensary, but I like this. Their featured cultivar, Agent Orange.
Yep.
All right, yeah.
I mean, dude.
All right, so which one are we keeping in?
Is it like from an investor standpoint?
Right.
No.
Or
You're
like as a consumer.
which one do you want to go into your neighborhood?
Which one do you want to go to as a consumer?
Yeah, sure.
I almost want to go to the Pokemon one so badly that I would sacrifice how difficult it would be to explain this to my daughter.
I would only put this inside the Mall of America.
So we can get rid of the spy one.
We don't trust the spies.
All right, we're dropping it. All right, so
Orange
then
was very
last
dangerous.
one.
We don't trust this.
Last part of the bracket. We've got Barbie's Bud Boutique. It's a Barbie themed dispensary because, you know, Barbie's really grown a lot, and
Well,
Barbie can be for adults.
She's had a big year.
Yeah,
Barbie
yeah.
has
So,
was definitely for adults
their
this
featured
year.
cultivar, Ken's Mojo Dojo Casa Dream Haze, instead of Casa Dream
Was
House.
that ChatGPT or was that you?
That was unfortunately me. Yeah. All right, and then the next one is Retro Buds, a 1990s themed dispensary
Oh, there
with
you go.
the featured
Okay.
cultivar. I'm really proud of this one. Fresh Prince of Bud Air.
Nice.
But here's what it says, guys. I need to read this part for the podcast. It's a sativa that will transport you to Bel Air with its fresh, uplifting effects. But be careful not to smoke too much. Otherwise, it feels like you're getting slapped in the face by Will Smith. All right, so which one of these are we keeping in? Which one?
Retro Buds.
Retro Buds? All right,
sure.
goodbye, Barbie. All right, so looking at our bracket, we can now take a peek. We now have Lions, Tigers, and Blunts competing against Jungle Jane's Dispensary.
Go
Jungle
jungle
Jane.
on that.
All right, Lions, Tigers, and Blunts, goodbye. Now we've got Retro Buds against Polka Puff Plaza.
Retro Buds? Actually, no. Retro Buds has my vote.
I mean, God, that doesn't matter to me.
Retro Buds over Polka Puff Plaza.
Wonderful. All right, so then looking at the finalists, which is going to be going into our neighborhood? Is it going to be Retro Buds, the 1990 themed dispensary, or Jungle Jane's Joints, the Jungle Safari themed dispensary?
Is Rainforest Cafe still a thing?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I still say the jungle one. My answer was going to be the same either way. Yeah, dude, I want to go like a Rainforest Cafe style.
But it's good to know. It's
They
good
got
to
the
know.
alligator out front, dude.
No, Retro Buds, I feel strongly that would.
All right.
All right, Steve, you're the deciding vote.
I vote Retro Buds.
All right. The winner of our April Madness,
All right.
Retro Buds.
never
Nice.
And that was a low bar.
Market has
Thunderstorm
spoken.
and a stampede in the dispensary. Oh, guys, it's a elephant stampede. I just want my hash, man.
Well, guys, this has been so fun having you on. We played some games. We rated some businesses. We read some reviews. We even shared a couple of stone thoughts. I'm not going to put you on the spot to say, what is your stone thought you want to share? But I am going to ask you one thing. I think what's great about 420 is it's sort of that marker in the year. I can think back to where I was 420 last year and the year before that. And even if memories are slightly hazy, I still have memories that sort of tie me to different places in time. I went to the Hideaway in Dinkytown the other day and can remember a 420 when I stood outside waiting for their 40% off deal. Wow. I got in first. I got this like huge plastic water pipe. And I really think that this is one of those holidays that it's just sort of that marker. So when we look at where we're going to be at a year from today, by 420 next year, like today is our first legal 420 in Minnesota. We're going to celebrate that. We're going to take a moment to say, we've come really far. But looking a year from now, obviously we're not looking into a magic ball, whatever be it. Where do you think we're going to be at? Either you personally or Minnesota as an industry going to April 20th of 2025. Do you have a goal or something you hope to get done by April 20th of next year?
Definitely.
I'd like to have a license.
Oh,
There we
dude,
go.
it's all I want. That's my only goal. I want a license, and I want my homies to get licenses, and I want to see the licenses land in the hands of the people that should have them, the people that are familiar with this product, the people that are familiar with the market. I don't want to see it land in the hands of people who haven't put the time in, who haven't made the sacrifices, who have only made money, and who only look at this for its bottom dollar. That's 100%. Thank you. But, for sure, that's absolutely the first thing that popped into my mind.
Yeah.
Jen, not so much, but where do you think the market will be a year from now?
Yes, you know, I spend a lot of time reading the tea leaves, trying to listen to what OCM is saying and what they need to do and all the pieces.
It's okay.
Sorry, the tapping
I'm sorry.
I just like threw me into a different headspace.
You know what? I thought about it. I hope that didn't throw her into a headspace. I just got all riled up there for a second.
shit.
So my apologies. You got to ask the proper
Yeah.
question again. And I'm
Yeah.
going to put my hands behind my back.
Oh no, it's
I'm so
fine.
sorry.
Okay.
I think it's interesting that 1 year from now we'll have seen some licenses come out. That's my prediction.
Yeah. Super excited about that. Whether we get the, social equity round that we're hoping that we'll get in July, just obviously that's subject to the legislative approval, but I think that's likely to happen. Super excited about that. And then we'll see another big round in hopefully January-ish. Yeah. But no, of course, nobody will be able to open. The social equity folks won't be able to open any earlier than the later folks. That's what I mean. Okay. So it'll be some later time that the stores can actually open. And I have heard that there's good conversations going behind the scenes about does it make sense to have all the licenses at once and, of the big ones, and how would we order that? And people saying you could put plants in the ground first before you sell them, to other people saying that's a really good idea. So I don't know. I can't tell you what the legislature might do with that, but, sorry, I digress.
No, that's great, Jen.
So I'm super excited for us to have people actually get those licenses, be able to take their businesses to the next level, right? Knowing that they have that license, being able to go to the city and get their spot, get their zoning, and actually move the fuck forward, right? We're in this weird right before licensing time. And so there's some things that we can do to be ready to write a good license and to get out there, and be ready for whenever, we get the opportunity to submit it. But there's other shit that's just later execution, So anyway, that's one of the things that I'm trying to help my clients figure that out, because of course, when you have to execute on something also is going to impact how much capital you need and when. And so when you need to raise that capital.
You can only be in pot purgatory for so long.
And we're not going to be. People badmouth OCM, but I think they are doing a good job. They're making reasonable progress. And it's taken a really fucking long time, but my hope is that they're doing a pretty good job, and then we'll just do it once instead of 15 and a half times like New York,
For sure. Well, and I think 10 years down the line, will people be saying, man, that took a really long time to roll out? Maybe, but probably not. I think we'll more be saying, wow, we got this right. I hope.
Turn the corner.
I really hope. Yeah.
All right, y'all. Well, to all of our viewers, our listeners at home, happy 420. Hey! What a great holiday. I hope your 420 is festive. It's a Saturday. Enjoy it.
It's a palindrome.
Look at that.
If you're waking
420.
up, there are 420 events all over the state today.
Yeah. Well,
Find your local 420 party.
Dude, it's supposed to be 72 and sunny. Okay.
Hell yeah.
I'm not trying to jinx this. There's some wood right here I'm going to knock on, but I don't remember a nice 420. Not in so long. They're so rare.
Well, I'm going to pull up my script so I make sure I do this part right. Thank you all so much for listening. Thank you to the Dabbler Depot for hosting us, per usual. We'll be back in your feeds on Monday, so this is coming out on Saturday. You can hear us on Monday. You can also find us on Facebook, Instagram, Reddit, LinkedIn, YouTube, and TikTok. Make sure that you subscribe today, leave a comment, and like the show, and share it with a friend. And happy holidays, everyone. Thank you so much for listening. Northern Lights is a Minnesota Cannabis College production. This episode was produced by me, Tanner Barris, and by my co-hosts John Barty and Marcus Harkis. Production assistance from Shayna Payton and Steve Eigenman. Today's episode is presented by North Star Law Group, your trusted partner in Minnesota's burgeoning legal cannabis industry. The information provided in this podcast does not and is not intended to constitute legal advice, but is instead for general information purposes only. Information shared may not constitute the most up-to-date or legal information. No listener should act solely on the basis of information provided without first seeking their own legal counsel. The opinions and views expressed on this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect those of the Minnesota Cannabis College. Please listen responsibly.